Alright, everybody, and welcome back to Vintage Story. We are still in the caves and should probably make our way out of said caves. Why don't we go do that, just as night begins to fall. And, ooh, world lagged there for a second. Grab all these ladders real quick. So, what's on the agenda for today? Well, I've thought about it quite a bit, and there's a few things I'd like to work on today. I would like to work on animals. I think is absolutely something we should be working on. Getting some basic animal, not pits, but pens is the word I'm looking for, so that we can start breeding animals. I would also like to take a look at our storage situation, because it is still less than ideal. And I also would like to take a look at, as part of that, maybe finishing up and tidying up this building a little bit. Oh, and I want to grab the rest of that copper. So, just a few disparate items today, and I'm going to tell you why. There's a couple projects that I want to work on as we're going forward, and they're pretty significant projects. First and foremost, I want to work on the house, and I want to get our house expanded. In order to do that, I think we're going to be working on turning this cozy cottage into what I call the cozy manor. So bringing it out a few more blocks and bringing wings out, and probably bringing it up a few stories and so on. That's what we're going to do for our house. And that'll allow us to kind of play around with what we've already built and maintain it to an extent, even if we go around upgrading and hey, you don't have to do that, replacing it. So I want to work on the cozy manor, and I want that to be something that we're really working on over the winter. In order to do that though, we're going to need a lot of supplies in the form of building supplies. And for that we're going to need granite, conglomerate, whatever blocks I end up using for the various stone bricks. Which is why I want the lime so badly, is because I need the lime to make mortar for bricks for the house. So we may have to plan B the house and go for something different, but if we're not able to find lime through that translocator, but I'd like to see if we can find lime so that I can build the house that I'd like to build. Anyway, so working on the house is something that is on our agenda. But the other thing that I have on the agenda for the next episode or two I'm looking for is I am looking to advance into the Bronze Age. So I think that it is high time that we make that advancement into the Bronze Age. So I don't think it'll end up being this episode, but I am looking at potentially making that be next episode. In order to make that next episode, I'm going to need to deal with our storage because this just is no longer cutting it anymore. Some of our chests are overflowing again. Like this one here gets a little too full, so it needs to be a double chest, and I need a second dirt chest, as you can see here, probably separating the low fertility soil out from the rest. There's also a bunch of rocks in here for whatever reason. So let me get that fixed. I must have put that in the wrong chest by accident. Anyway, so the chest side of things, as always, tends to be pretty on the boring side. So I'm going to, well, let me tell you, there's two things I'm going to do. First, I'm going to make an armor stand. And I'll actually make that now. I've got planks here, and then I just need a stack of you. I'll actually want to consolidate all of these. So I will do this here. And you go here. Perfect. So now I have an armor stand. I'll just place the armor stand here for now. And that way, let's see, I can take the armor off, and I can have it here ready to go. I put it on again, didn't I? I don't know why it's not Clearly, I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna work on organizing the chests. That'll get us through the night, I'm sure. So I will see you on the other side of that. Okay, so I did do a few things. I cooked up some food. There it is. I made way too many fences to prepare for these animal pens, not pits. And I made some path blocks. So just before it becomes daytime here, I am going to work on our path to our storage house so that we can have that a bit more formalized. So I will see you when it's time to go make these animal pens. Okay, so we could probably work on these animal pens, and they're not going to be anything fancy. I am actually only just going to do one for now, and it's just going to be a little 5x5 pen, and I'll probably build something along the back of them. So I'm going to start it here. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, because this fifth one I'll have be a gate, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to build a barn at some point, but that's probably going to be a bit of a future endeavor. What I may do is I may roof this over and just add some slabs to it. That way there is a roof over these guys for the winter time. If for whatever reason a barn may be better, if you think it's worth just starting off with a barn, let me know down in the comments, but I think this should be fine. 5, 2, 3, 4, okay, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, perfect. And so I do want to start off, we are going to need some troughs, so let's make large troughs. I'll make 2 of these for now, so you go here and you go here. And I am going to want some dirt. Perfect. I have dirt blocks. And what we're going to do is we're just going to fill this with grain. Put one along. Why aren't you placing? Yeah, I don't know why that wasn't placing, but that's fine. I probably only need the one. I'll keep the other one on hand. And I would... Actually, you're fine right there. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm also going to surround this with dirt so that they're able to path right into it. I'm just going to wall that off so they can't path into it there. Actually, I don't know if you can path right into this. I bet I might have to... Because I had to jump in order to get over that gap. Let me just do this. Just in case. Oh, they can still get into it. Okay. So, now what we'll do is I'm going to place some feed, and specifically I'm going to go for flax. I believe they'll eat flax. I was reading in the YouTube comments of another creator's video that maybe animals don't eat flax anymore. I don't think that's true. But it may be. Okay, there we go. So we fill this up with flax. Now, animals naturally should start making their way over here. Specifically, probably these pigs that are in the woods back here. But I actually would like to start with these sheep. And I think we can get the pigs later. I don't know where they are, but there should be some back here somewhere. And I actually don't know where we have any local sheep anymore. I was trying not to hunt them all, but I think I may have accidentally overindulged in my hunting of the sheep. So I'm gonna go look around and see if I can find any, and I will come back once we have found some. What would have killed a bighorn sheep? Now that is quite a question. Okay, I thought I'd go look over here. And it looks like some wolves have respawned in this area. So that is not great for us, but good to know all around, I suppose. Anyways, it's looking more and more like we have hunted a lot of the sheep of our local area into extinction. So we're going to have to go relatively far to find some, unfortunately. I know where more are. I'm just hoping that I can find some that are closer. Actually, there may be some in the woods behind our house. So we could always look that way, as now we know there are wolves. And that, I believe, it wasn't a bear. Oh, no, never mind, of course, it was a sheep. But that guy's in between us. Good to know that I have at least two over here. But they're both males. I am going to need a female as well. Alright. Did not mean to do that. I'm going to head back towards our house, and there's that lake. There's a lake behind our house that has the copper in it that we still haven't collected. And I believe there may be some over there now that I think back on it, but we shall see. And I did remember correctly. There are some sheeps back here. So, here's what I'm gonna do. This isn't probably the most efficient way to handle this, but I'm gonna take this female sheep and I'm gonna hit it, and I'm gonna let these guys chase me somewhere that's a bit closer. Okay, never mind. We'll do this the old-fashioned way, I guess, which is I have a feeding trough with some food, and I will place this over here, and they will gradually start coming to it. I believe these guys should start coming to it. Give this guy a punch, just see if he'll tag along with us. Yeah, he will. He will. Hey buddy, how you doing? Glad to see that you're doing well. You're in good physical health. No longer mad at us? Good. So he's right there. Let's see if we can get this one here. Where did they go? Somewhere out this way. Oh, there's one on the other side of the water there. There was a second one. There you are. Oh, and you have your own male. Yep, you're coming, you're coming. Uh-oh, we might die here. We sure did. Look at that, our first death. Just the way we'd like to see it. Wrangling sheep. So let's go back and get our stuff and keep going at this. Okay, so the sheep are slowly making their way over. I do want to grab the other feeding trough and just move it in between so to kind of scurry them along and make sure that they keep coming in the right direction. And just to prevent another easily preventable death, we will not be repeating what I just did. Uh, Once we have the sheep on hand, then I'll let the pigs come naturally, and we do have chickens somewhere. I don't know, I haven't seen them in a long time, but we did have chickens at one point. Okay, now that we have that all squared away, I want to give them time to make their way in there. And as we're doing that, I'd like to make a quick trip up to the old copper mine. And I want to grab the rest of that copper. Oh, I placed the table and chair right in here. I figured we may as well. We'll make a trip to the old copper mine. So let's grab our pickaxe, which is not here. Yes, it is. There we go. And just this one pickaxe should be plenty. And I want torches, which I have on hand. Perfect. So, I'm going to make my way over to the center of the world, and I will see you all when it's time to get mining. Okay, and we are back at the house on this August evening. And I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to prepare for the Bronze Age. And I'd like to prepare by going down and really getting this basement fixed up and kind of made into what it should be, or should have been this whole time. And I think what I want is I want this area to be our forging, smithing area. And so as a consequence, I don't think I would like... Oh, I don't have my other shovel on me. I don't think I would like to do my pit kiln work down here in the basement. Oh yeah, they are coming. So we're also going to need to build a new pit kiln somewhere. Which is fine. I have a standard design that I use. I'll just build the standard design. Spoiler alert, it is a mud brick build, of course, as any of my standard designs would be. But nonetheless, I still think we can use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install some flooring in here, and then I will be right back. Okay, that took way longer than it needed to. And the reasoning is you didn't know, is Vintage Story has vertical slabs. So if you want to place a slab horizontally, which is what I've been doing, I'm not ready for that point in the demonstration. You gotta knock that off. Okay. Then you shoot for the top of the block, and you shoot for the lower part of the block if you want to do it vertically. So if you're not careful, you'll accidentally place a slab vertically. Anyway, so this is the area we're working with, and I'm thinking, it's pretty sweet. I've got room for an anvil, I've got room for our forge, I've got plenty of room for some of the other things that we have. So what I'm going to do is I am, unfortunately for now, going to just dump into this chest since I can, and I'd actually like to bring this trunk down with me, but we may leave it here for now. So I'm gonna head back. Oh, okay, you weren't supposed to do that, but I will take it, I guess. Now we just need the mail to get in here, and I'll be in the money. Let's actually, before I forget about it, refresh these torches. So I'm gonna refresh these torches, and then I am going to work on bringing our smithing stuff over here, and I will see you guys when that is all done. Okay, so that is all our forging stuff squared away. And on the subject of forging, I do want to look at maybe making... Oh, we're not going to have enough durability. But I think in our future, I want to make some copper lanterns. And to do that, oh, actually, I can just use the quartz. Well, let's look at that. So let's go, because we really do need to get this building lit up a bit more efficiently, for lack of a better term. How many candles can I make? 7 candles. And I will make all 7, actually. So I'll just put them in here for now. And I am actually going to need a fire pit, so why don't I run and grab the firewood as well. There we go. Can we get the other sheep yet? No. Where is it? He's hanging out. Hey, you're welcome to visit your buddy if you'd like. It's nighttime, so they're probably chillaxing. Oh. See, I knew they needed that extra block. That's why it's there. Come on, you know you can go for the food. Oh well. I don't know where we're gonna place this fire pit. I must have a dark mud brick lying around somewhere. Yes, I do. Wait a bit, actually. And I'll place you here. There we go. Anyway, like I was saying, let's look at lanterns. I am going to want another hammer, which I have not passed out yet. But that's okay. Oh, you don't go in there. If anything, you go in there. Because I have plenty of quartz chunks and clear quartz specifically. Lantern. You're with glass, that's fine. You're with silver, you're with gold. Then you're with clear quartz. Yep, so I can make 3 of these. But I'm gonna need copper plates, and I just need 1 plate per lantern. And ideally for this building, I'd like at least 2 lanterns. I don't really think a lantern for up here is important. I'd like a lantern for our hand, and I'd like a lantern for the house over there. So that's 4 lanterns altogether. I probably can only get away with making 2 right now, unless I do some more smelting. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to hammer away the first plate and do some smelting in the background. So I'm going to get to that, and I will see you guys when we have some copper plates. Okay, so I definitely don't have enough hammer durability to smith out more than one plate, hence why I'm doing some of this and trying to get another hammer. But I was able to get at least one. So now, all I need to grab is a candle and the quartz, which is this chest here. No, I have the quartz on me. And now, survey says I need my tongs. Whoops. What did I do with those? Did I put them away already? Of course I did. Anyway, so you go here, 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 and just like that, we have a lantern, which is much, much brighter than the torches that we've been using. If anything, because this is a smithy, I'll want to keep that room lit by torchlight, but the only reason I'm not looking at doing that right now is because I don't have a torch holder. That really is something that I'd like to find sooner rather than later. Ooh, and I like the rusted copper look of the copper lanterns. I also believe in Melinda Chacos lantern supremacy. But just where we haven't found any lead, we really don't have an excuse for not having lanterns anymore. So I figured this would be good enough, and it is. So as it's turning daytime, and that's just finishing up, let's take a look at our sheep outside. Hey, and not that guy. Run away from him so that he could despawn. And I'd like to do one more harvest of our bees if we can. Harvest we can do, replacing the scaps I don't quite know. Oh, and that was not far enough for him. That's fine. Let me just despawn this guy and I'll be right back. There we go. Oh, and we are hungry. Let's eat some food. Which is not lasting us very long, I must say. I hope we'll be okay for the winter. And that's one of the reasons I want these animals, so that we can at least get something for the winter. I think this guy's still doing sleeps. Yep. Boom. And just like that, there you guys are. And I'd like you... Okay. That's not what I would have liked. Although maybe it's a good opportunity because it allows me to close off that pen. Oof, scared me, buddy. There we go. Now I have them trapped. Finally. And they're gonna eat the food and hopefully someone gets pregnant and then we're in the money. Ready to mate. Alright, buddy, do your job. If anything, this pen might be a little on the small side, but that's okay. I'm just gonna clean this up here. And this one here, we can turn into some red meat stew, if I do say so myself. I think it's funny that it just fell like nothing happened. There we go. Hey, attitude, please. So, we're going to start producing more sheep, which is great. It's going to happen slowly over time, but over the winter maybe we'll get one or two. That will be nice. And I may expand this into a whole sheep pen if it gets a little too crowded, but for now that should be okay. Let's go check on this down here, see how we're looking. Oh, and we're done. And I want to save my coal, most definitely. Okay. And with that, I do believe that we have everything that we need. Hey, you're ready to mate too? Nice. everything I wanted to do to go into the Bronze Age. Because, like I said, I want to work on upgrading our house, and I think I've come to terms with the idea that we're not going to be able to upgrade the house with brick like I wanted. So I definitely don't want to keep doing mud brick because it's way too resource intensive. But we are going to be upgrading the house, and what that's going to look like, I don't quite know just yet. I'm still working on that, but I'm going to probably bring it out up to here at least, just for this initial upgrade. So I'm going to be working on that in a creative world, trying to figure out what I want the house to look like. And then we're going to get working on that. But before we get working on that, we really should be upgrading our tools. So next episode, I think we are going to be looking at the Bronze Age. There is, however, one more project I'd like to get to, and that is figuring out what we're going to do with our pit kilns. I think we can put it, or put them, ooh, did not mean to do that, somewhere along this building perhaps is an option for us, but this wood may present as a threat. So what I'm thinking we can do, we'll break these stones first and foremost. And actually, when I was just tinkering around, I realized I have my visibility way too high, so hopefully that should help some of this loading. Is getting that backdrop down to something a bit more normal. And what we can do is I think we can put, well, I don't know if I want to do this with dark mud brick. Let's see what else I can pull off for materials. Maybe I can do a cobblestone of kind? Yeah, maybe we could do some, just use some of these basalt stones, and I don't need anything too fancy. Just need some slabs. So let's see how I make cobblestone slabs. There we go. Okay, well that's easy enough. Just do you here. Do that there. 42 should be plenty. So let's go out here, and first of all, let's figure out where we want these to be. I want a buffer of at least one here, and I don't want you to start here, so because of this, and if anything, I should be covering this up. So why don't I actually, well actually, I can do this if I'm going to cover this up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope. And you don't get anything. Or how about this? How about I run this pattern of 7, and I'll just bump it out one more to 8. There we go. Well, that brings us to 10 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Oh well, that was close. And then what I can do is I can, well, not like that. I don't have my pickaxe. I do have my pickaxe on me. Nice. Okay. Break this with the pickaxe. And I want this vertically. So, there we go. And then connecting like that. There we go. And you go here, but you're going to go in the middle. And just have this go out by a few. Now, obviously, this material is not ideal. This is very much just placeholder for now so that we can get something up and online. But it's a start. This building may be torn down in its entirety at some point. And then what I can do is I can just have another pillar of this. Oh, I'm not trying to place it vertically. I want it placed so it's going horizontal. There we go. Like that. There we go. Nice. Then you go out one more here. Medium rift activity, and one spawned right there. You can hear it, or I could hear it at least. Perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some... Oh boy. I'm going to fix this, and then I'm going to take some packed dirt, and I'm going to just clean this up a little bit with packed dirt all around it. And once I have done that, I will show you what it looks like, and then we're going to do a bit of clay forming and probably fire that all up. So I will see you all in a few seconds. Okay, so here we are, and this is what our little pet kiln area looks like now. I do think it looks pretty good overall. We're just not using this basalt anywhere else, so the basalt looks a little out of place. But again, I think this is just placeholder while we're waiting to transition away from the mud brick. Because I really don't want to keep using the mud brick, just because it is so resource intensive. And I'm a little mud bricked out, quite honestly. It took a lot for us to get to where we are now, from a mud brick perspective. Alright, anyway, I am going to do a bit of clay forming. Let's talk about what I'm looking to make. Well, for starters, I'd like some more ingot molds so I can make more than 8 ingots at a time. But probably more importantly, and what I'm going to put my focus on, is I am in desperate need of... Can you guys mate yet? Ready to mate, but hasn't done the deed. Unless you got mated, that'd be funny. I'm in desperate need of more crocs than just the 4 that we have, so I can prepare actually good quantities of food. And for that I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 things of crocs to fill up this basement. And I would like to fill up that basement. I don't know if I'll fill it all with food, but I'd like to fill it up at least. So to do that, I'm going to need 13 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't even pull that off with a full thing of this. So that's going to be a lot of crocs. It's going to take a lot of time. So I am going to work on that. And I will see you all when it's time to get that firing. Okay, so we have all of our crocs firing now. And we'll see if everything starts burning. Just some grass, it looks like. Which, to be fair, was to be expected. Oh yeah, not you though. Then you'll catch the wood on fire. Okay, we're not exploding yet, so hopefully this will be good. But I do believe, unfortunately, that we are out of time for today. So, with all that being said... Whoa, you're not third person mode? Yes, you are. There we go. This has been another episode of Vintage Story. Thank you very much for watching. I have been Finkel11, and I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I have enjoyed making it. Join me next time when we gather up some tin and enter the Bronze Age. If you haven't already, don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe. That way that you could follow along with the series. I've been Finkel11, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.